Post-Israel's call for war with Hamas in Palestine, pledging to destroy Hamas similar to ISIS in the Middle East, many countries are outraged. In Gaza, numerous buildings and homes lie in ruins, and hundreds of lives are lost. With the ongoing tension, widespread support for Palestine persists, even from communist nations. Some communist countries go as far as backing Palestine's independence from Israel's continuous attacks. Here are several communist countries supporting Palestine's freedom. China. Chinese President Xi Jinping recently expressed his support for Palestinian independence, advocating for a Palestinian state with its capital in East Jerusalem. With this statement, the number of communist countries supporting Palestine has increased. Xi Jinping made these remarks after meeting with Mahmoud Abbas in China. "We call on relevant parties to remain calm, exercise restraint, and promptly end hostilities to protect civilians. The fundamental way out of this conflict lies in the implementation of a two-state solution and the establishment of an independent Palestinian state," said Xi Jinping's statement as reported by CNBC International. The relationship between China and Palestine has spanned approximately 50 years. To this day, China remains the foremost advocate and supporter of the Palestinian people's struggle whenever conflicts arise with Israel, earning China respect in the long-standing conflict between Palestine and Israel. The China-Arab High-Level Conference on December 12, 2022, showcased China's support. During that event, Xi Jinping, the president of China, firmly stated that the Chinese government would continue to stand with the Palestinian people and support their independence movement. During the Asian African Conference, AAC, in Bandung in 1955, Arab nations discussed the elimination of imperialist states. China has always been a political leader in supporting the Palestinian independence struggle. Zhou Enlai, China's foreign minister and representative at the AAC meeting, argued that colonialism afflicting Arab countries and even all third-world nations must be eliminated. Hence, he asserted that China would support the interests of Arab countries, especially Palestine. China fulfilled its promise. China opened the door for Arab countries to establish diplomatic relations after the Bandung AAC concluded. Furthermore, their support for Palestine is evident. By opening the PLO representative office in Beijing, China selflessly supports the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, a left-wing political faction in Palestine. China strongly backs Palestine, particularly after the PLO became a powerful left-wing political party, positioning China positively in the Middle East and Third World countries. This allows the Chinese government to strengthen its political influence and build diplomatic relations. North Korea. Kim Jong-un, the leader of North Korea, has expressed his support for the Palestinian cause while condemning Israel's occupation. He criticized Israel as a curse in the Middle East and a hidden colonizer under the United States. In response, the Israeli defense minister referred to Kim Jong-un as a madman, escalating tensions between Israel and North Korea. Internationally, this conflict is often seen as a consequence of Israel's continuous criminal actions against the Palestinian people. Kim emphasized that Palestine is not just a concern for Arabs and Muslims, it is a matter of freedom. Through his statement, Kim Jong-un wholeheartedly supports the Palestinian people's struggle to reclaim occupied territories and establish an independent state with Jerusalem as its capital. North Korea has a long-standing history of supporting Palestine and endorsing Hamas in their struggle against Israel. The relationship dates back to 1966 when North Korea began engaging with the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. In 1974, it became the first country to recognize the PLO as the official representative of the Palestinian people. Additionally, North Korea has provided military, political, and economic assistance to the PLO, including training, weapons, and financial aid. North Korea allowed the PLO to establish a representative office in Pyongyang and sent delegates to international conferences addressing the Palestinian issue. Moreover, North Korea extended its support to the Islamic militant group Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip and conflicts with Israel. There is belief that North Korea supplied weapons and military technology such as missiles, rockets, mines, and communication systems to Hamas. North Korea also provided military training and intelligence to Hamas members in North Korea and other countries like Iran and Syria. Cuba. Cuba, as a communist country, also supports Palestine, as indicated by a tweet from Bruno Rodriguez, the Cuban Minister of Foreign Affairs. The tweet advocated for a fair and comprehensive solution to end the Israel-Palestine conflict, emphasizing the inalienable right of a state to its borders before 1967, with East Jerusalem as its capital. The relationship between Cuba and Palestine involves bilateral ties, with Palestine having an embassy in Havana. Laos. Ambassador Anupar Bongnorkeo, Laos' permanent representative to the UN, declared full support for the independence and sovereignty of Palestine during the 41st plenary meeting of the 77th UN General Assembly. Ambassador Anupar emphasized the importance of achieving a peaceful solution to the conflict, respecting the Palestinian people, and reaching a two-state solution in line with relevant UN resolutions. Vietnam. Vietnam, another communist country, also stands in support of Palestine. Vietnam's permanent representative to the UN, Ambassador Dang Hoang Giang, expressed concern about the violence in the Palestinian territories during the UN General Assembly. Ambassador Dang Hoang Giang affirmed Vietnam's position that the Palestine issue should be addressed in accordance with international law and relevant UN resolutions. This approach aims to protect the legitimate interests of all parties, particularly the inalienable rights of the Palestinians, including the right to establish an independent and sovereign Palestinian state. Vietnam and Palestine share a strong and friendly relationship. Vietnam was the first country to recognize Palestine and has maintained close ties with the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO. These expressions of support from non-Islamic nations highlight the humanitarian aspect of the Palestinian issue. Countries, irrespective of their religious affiliations, stand alongside Palestine. What are your thoughts on this humanitarian stance? Feel free to share your comments.